What's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of Triggered Wrestling. We're talking about massive returns this last weekend here in the wrestling world. We're talking about the Continental Classic. We're talking about AEW for the first time ever doing something they've never done before. All this and more on this episode of Triggered Wrestling.
Triggered Wrestling is so awesome all the way around. That gets me triggered.
Ooh, okay, well, let's go with the bad trigger right now.
See, I'm a fan of all of it.
Will force you to watch Triggered Wrestling.
What's up, Adrian? How do you feel after this exciting episode of Dynamite and Rampage and everything that we've seen as of late?
Everything has been great, man. What it is, I've been saying this for a very long time. What a time to be a wrestling fan today. I know it's not the Monday Night Wars. I know it's not the 80s, the golden age of wrestling, 90s, 2000s. But right now, after the black hole of what it was wrestling in the late 2000s, early 2010s, finally, we're getting some good wrestling with Impact going back to TNA January 1st, 2024. NWA Power apparently did not lose their TV deal with the CW. You can find some of their shows on the CW app. Dynamite's still doing their thing. WWE's doing their thing. It's fucking awesome, man.
Exactly. But the thing I'm really excited for is because once again, I have won our contest. We guessed every match the exact same, and I changed my answer at the last moment because we both said Judgment Day was going to win, and I was like, no, we got to be different. So I ended up choosing the babyface team, and they ended up winning. So I win again our pay-per-view contest, Adrian. How does that make you feel, bro? What is that, 3 in a row?
I think so, yeah. I mean, nothing wrong with it. To me, I thought, Judgment Day has been getting the short end of the stick. The certified jobbers with the push that continues to keep happening for no apparent reason. I thought, hey, just throw them a bone. They've been losing constantly. But no, they lost again. No surprises there.
Wow. Well, let's just get into the meat here of the show. We got Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch defeating Damage Control, the Women's War Games match. We got to see Io Sky do a crazy dive blindfolded by a
Trash can.
Yeah, so this match was really good. I know you can nitpick at certain things, but overall, the women stole the show. They did a good showing out here that I like.
Ooh, okay. Speaking of nitpicking, you're not gonna bring that nitpicking over here to this side of the pond or the WWE? Because I know you like to do it over there in the other show.
Bro. Nah. I mean, I do, but for the sake of this, I'm gonna go with no.
And that's the mark in you, my guy. That's why I like you, man. But yeah, that Io Sky spot.
Mark out, bro.
The Ralph Wiggum spot. I'm in danger. Just went off over the top of the cage. And I told you, I had a feeling somebody was going to do a move. I thought it was going to be Kairi Sane. But no, Io Sky did it, and I was not disappointed. It was a great match. I don't know if it's just me or just something about these War Game matches. They weren't what I expected them to be. If you know what I'm saying. I know AEW likes to do blood and guts with blood and all these crazy spots, all these weapons. I'm not expecting that from WWE. I'm sure not everybody was expecting that from WWE. But when it came to a war and a battle between a faction that's been beating up these baby faces, I was highly disappointed in both of them. But let's talk about the women's match first.
What do you want to talk about it?
Pretty much what I just said. I mean, you've been feuding with these factions. Baby faces have been feuding with Damage Control for a long time. Io Sky is finally a world champion, which a lot of people forgot, including myself. To me, she just still looks like a lackey. That's just me. She still looks like a lackey. Io Sky did not stood out besides that spot. And that spot's usually for somebody like a mid-carder, somebody like JD Madonna, who's a jobber as well, who's still up and coming. But for a world champion to do something like that, this is on WWE standards. In AEW, their world champions can do their own thing. But talking about WWE, this is not what a world champion is supposed to be doing in WWE. Am I correct?
Losing matches?
Losing matches in that crazy spot from the top of the cage.
They can do that. What's wrong with them doing crazy things like that?
I've never seen any world champion do anything like that. And that's because of the whole, injury. They're making him look weak.
It sounds like you're just the negative Nancy, my guy.
I'm spitting facts because you normally don't see this from, come on. If somebody like Cody Rhodes or somebody like the world champion, you think Seth Rollins was going to do that on top of the cage with his quote unquote injured back? No, he's a participation champion.
Maybe.
But WWE won't allow him to do it because, hey, you got to keep it safe. You're still the world champion. You're the face of the company or the face of Raw.
Wow.
I mean, to be fair, Io Sky is not really world champion material, especially the way she's being booked. So I could see why they let that slide.
This guy. Well, I enjoyed the match. Let us know if you guys enjoyed the matches in the comments below. Next, we had Gunther versus The Miz. Gunther was not going to lose this match. The Miz, he put up a fight, but he ends up tapping out to the Walls of Jericho.
Yes, to the Boston Crab, because, you know how WWE likes to do.
Kayfabe.
Yeah, how do you feel about that whole Bobby Hill finisher that Miz tried to do? That's my purse, you don't know me! Bam! Kick to the nuts.
Bobby Hill?
Yeah, that's what he does on King of the Hill. You know what Miz did? A low blow, and he almost got the 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you're right. Well, I got confused when you said Bobby Hill. I was like, because I do like King of the Hill, but for some reason, I don't really remember too much of that. So that gets us back into Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. I kind of expected a lucha match, and it wasn't that. It was like, it was two Mexicans that are luchadors trying to not be luchadors, and it kind of seemed off to me. I don't know if you got the same vibe.
It was highly disappointing. Very, very disappointing to me, in my opinion. Very fucking disappointing.
It's like, that's what made these two wrestlers stand out. Dragon Lee being a luchador. Santos Escobar is trying to be more of a WWE style. And Dragon Lee has had great matches in WWE. But this one, to me, it just wasn't it. Santos Escobar did show some strength. Was it Dragon Lee? Who the fuck did the powerbomb?
I think Santos.
Santos, yeah. Whoever did the fucking powerbomb when they almost were falling down is really strong, and that looked good. But honestly, I don't even remember what Santos Escobar's finishing move is. I don't really know. Like, it's weird to me. Like, you're this bad guy, but you didn't stand out as a babyface, so it's kind of like you have to reinvent yourself here.
Yup. Said this from since day one, bruv. People were cooking me. LWO was nothing. LWO is not important. LWO did not stand out from the original LWO. They were just there. And I've said this numerous times. When they come out together as a faction, they look so unorganized. They look so just random people put together. I agree. Santos Escobar is it's meh. He did some work in NXT, but then obviously when they go up to the main roster, they have to reinvent themselves. He tried to do it, didn't work out. Now he's a heel. Now it still doesn't work out. And the match was very disappointing. And this is where the pay-per-view just kind of died for me at this point.
Wow.
Especially after that Miz match.
This guy. Well, you know what? Honestly, this kind of reminds me of when Andrade first came up to WWE. Eventually, he was like one of the pandemic era MVPs. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Santos Escobar. There's a lot more to come with that story still, I think. But one of the main returns that we saw, actually not one of the main.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on. But let's not forget why Dragon Lee took the match in the first place. It was originally supposed to be Carlito, right?
Yeah, it was Carlito, but he got injured.
But then what happened, man? What happened? Do they not trust this man
Card
anymore?
is subject to change, my guy.
So you have a guy that's been on the payroll since July. Finally debuted, a month ago? And it's ready to go in the PLE versus Santos Escobar, a quote-unquote heel in the making. And they're like, nah, bro, yeah,
Damn.
Thank you for showing, but we don't need your services anymore.
First of all, weren't you complaining that they're like, oh, this is going to be a lose-lose situation? And they find a way out of it, and then now you're complaining. You're still complaining.
It's still a lose-lose.
You're complaining.
It's still a lose-lose. They still lost.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lose-lose, and they still lost. To be honest, with Dragon Lee to the addition, I was like, bam, we're going to have a banger luchador match and a WWE ring. I'm ready for this. And I said this on the pod. In my opinion, Dominic Mysterio's best match was against Dragon Lee. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Since we did not see that.
So whose fault is that for expecting that, bro?
Oh, is this? Oh,
that's what you get for getting your hopes up, bro.
It's my fault. So this is why I don't really like WWE, because they do this to the fans numerous times.
Okay.
They build some shit up, and then for them just to be like, yeah, whatever. You guys will still be our fans. You guys will do, no matter what we serve you on your dinner plate, you guys will still eat it up. And yeah, my bad on me, but hey, it's expected to WWE to disappoint their fans, right?
I mean, I'm not going to defend it because I didn't like this match. But anyways, moving on. One thing I did like, which was the biggest return of the night, was R-Truth making his WWE comeback from injuring himself in NXT. I missed R-Truth quite a bit.
Hell yeah, man. Fucking, I've been, actually, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I've been joining R-Truth's TikTok lives. The man is hilarious, man. He is truly goated. He is, a 56-time, 24/7, 007, 7-Eleven, I-5, WWE champion?
Yes, he is the man with the most reigns if you put all their title reigns together, he's the GOAT.
He has more title reigns than The Undertaker. Enough said, bruv.
Exactly. True that. Then we get Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. And do you want to talk about this match?
I mean, nothing against Rhea Ripley or Zoe Starks, but yeah, no, Zoe Starks was not winning this match at all.
They keep trying to build her up, shove her down the throats, Roman Reigns style, and no. Zoe Stark, she doesn't got it. She doesn't have it.
She doesn't have it. And spoiler alert, she lost against Nia Jax, which, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. See, even WWE, you know what? The only thing I could think of is Zoe Stark got called up by Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon's trying to make her something, but I don't know at the end of the day. But regardless, that gets us to the main event, men's War Games match. We just talked about it. Judgment Day loses. Randy Orton makes his triumphant return to the ring. Adrian, how did you see this match?
The match... Disappointed in this War Games match. Again, I'm not expecting a barbed wire table, flaming, all this other crap that we've seen in other companies, right? I was not expecting that. This is WWE, so in my opinion, I wanted to see an actual war between a heel faction that's been jumping people after matches when they lose, a heel faction that's been jumping people during matches to catch some W's, a heel faction that's been basically trying to ruin these top baby faces' matches, sometimes careers. I was expecting an actual war. Did we get that? No, we did not, bruv. We did not at all. You have someone like Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest who don't see eye to eye. Technically, they do because they're the same height. But you know what I mean. They're locked in the cage. If something were to happen, something were to pop off, that's the time and place to do it, you know? But no, I did not see the war that led up to this match. You know what I mean? You know, they brought some weapons into the War Games match. What was it? It was what? 2 candlesticks? 1 chair? 1 table? 1 pipe? And a bull rope?
Yeah.
That's considered a war?
You know, I feel like as a fan, you expect to have those weapons, but the match itself is in a cage. Technically, it's a closed cage. But yeah, for some reason, we're having weapons involved in this things now, which it wasn't ever the case before.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not expecting a barbed wire covered chair, table, kendo sticks, baseball bats.
So you didn't like the ending. You didn't like the super RKO from the top of the cage. Okay, well, let's talk about some of the good things too.
No. Let's talk about the match, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because that's why we're here. Our name is called Triggered Wrestling. The ending was great. It was good for the return. But when you're building a match, what? You've heard my frustration about the Dark Order from Wish, of how they're the quote-unquote best in the world faction. People are putting them in this pedestal. Oh, 10 years from now, Dark Order from Wish is going to be known as one of the greatest faction of all time. No, they are not. They are not, and they showed in this match. You have this match build up for what, 8 months? And the payoff wasn't even that great. The payoff was not great. Whether you like it or not, it was not great at all. I mean, when the Hell in a Cell or Steel Cage are coming to play, people are thrown into the cage, they put their faces on the cage, like the Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus match. Great fucking match. The cage was utilized numerous times. The cage was not even utilized maybe like 2 or 3 times, but that's about it.
That's true. But putting all that aside, there was stories told. There was interesting spots. I feel like I agree with you that the payoff wasn't exactly what we expected, because the payoff came from the baby faces finally getting their comeuppance on Judgment Day to, oh, Randy Orton returned. That's kind of where the story went. And obviously we saw Monday Night Raw now. We see where it ends up going, which is kind of like why, but we'll get there later. I feel like Monday Night Raw, watching that after Survivor Series, kind of modeled up the ending of Survivor Series a little bit just because of where the storylines happened or where they're going after that. But I did like the Super RKO. I did like the teased cash-in of the Money in the Bank. It made Randy Orton look like a solid player at that point in time. And then Monday Night Raw happened. And then now the storylines are all kind of over the place because we're going to have this ginormous buildup. Apparently, quote unquote, due to news rumors, a 2-month buildup to Royal Rumble. We'll see if that is true or not. But this match leaves more questions than answers based off how it ended.
Yeah, this is what I don't like about WWE. We invest our time on this product with a story build, which stories are great. Don't get me wrong. Stories are great for building up. I may not be a fan of them, but in the long run, they are great. You yourself say, well, the final match is the payoff is always great. This one did not pay off at all. It was great for Randy's return. The cash-in was amazing. WWE did his return fucking great. You know, with the whole teasing of Orange not here, Orange not coming. The baby faces were only 3 baby faces on the cage. One of them started in the match. Damian Priest saying, I got a plan. And Rhea comes out with the briefcase, a tease cash-in. I mean, technically, they could have cashed in. I counted. It took Orton at least, 10, 15 seconds to go from his music announcing to the ring. Technically, he could have cashed in 1, 2, 3.
Technically, he could have, yes. But, that's not how wrestling works, bro.
I know. I'm not going to complain about I'm not going to complain about the wrestling script, but that's what I said. Technically, he could have cashed in, but for the story-wise, it was great. It was great. I'm not a Mark podcaster that complains about the wrestling script.
But then the thing that got me was they showed the little Survivor Series thank you for watching bullshit at the bottom screen.
Yes, the logo.
And I was just like, oh, this shit's over. I was like starting to stand up, and all of a sudden you just hear the and then the fucking crowd goes wild. I got chills. It was a good return for none other than CM Punk.
Yep, the crowd went berserk. A lot of people were live streaming. Some people that I even follow on social media, they were live streaming. Well, obviously, I didn't see them live. I saw them the next day. Yeah, man, a lot of people were, like I said, live streaming. Oh, yeah, no CM Punk. Oh, but it was still a great show. Blah, 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 blah. Now we're looking on to Monday Night Raw. Next thing you know, the music hits and their facial expression changed. They went wild. The crowd was popping. They were screaming. They were chanting his name. It was great. Again, another great fucking return.
It looked like CM Punk turned back time and got like 5 years younger. If you look at how he looked at All In, and then you look at how he looked at Survivor Series, he got more muscle. His hair looks different. He looks younger now. Kind of like how when Keith Lee signed with AEW, he like aged 5 to 10 years, bro.
Yes. Yeah.
And Adam Cole stopped hitting the gym, bro. It's like the reverse of when you go the other way.
Yeah.
But that ends our Survivor Series review. So now let's hop into Monday Night Raw, where we see a little bit of the fallout here of what happened from Survivor Series. We're not going to talk about the entire show. We're just going to hit some highlights. We talked briefly about the resurgence of the WWE Tag Team division. We saw the Tag Team Turmoil match. Veer finally arrived, and he's a jobber.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. And it's sad. Even with Jinder Mahal, they just waited and waited so much for him that it doesn't matter anymore. He's donezo.
Yeah. He's ass. Veer Mahan showed a lot of promise with his first or 2 weeks of teasing. Then it just went on for too long. He kept on coming. Like you said, he kept getting the wrong address to the arenas. Yeah, man, just nobody cares anymore. And just that.
Yeah. So that Tag Team Turmoil match ended up being won by the Creed brothers. So we'll see them taking on Judgment Day in the near future for the tag team titles. We also saw Randy Orton make his Monday Night Raw return against Dominic Mysterio. And Randy Orton wasn't going to lose his return match to Raw. Dominic Mysterio is definitely the wrestler that's going to take the L all day in these matches. So Dirty Dom took the L.
Damn, again? Damn. I mean, not surprising here. That's pretty much what Dark Order's just there for, just to take L's. And for some reason, gain championships. Except for Rhea Ripley.
But we did get a promo here with Randy Orton and Jey Uso about, Jay's like, I'm sorry for everything. And then Randy said, as long as you're for sure out of the bloodline, you got good, you're okay. But he also said that he has some unfinished business with the bloodline. And he said everyone in the bloodline. And then he winked at the camera. So does that mean he's still going to come after Jay? Who knows? But Randy Orton is still going to go after the bloodline. So is Cody Rhodes. So is everybody else.
Yup. So now it's, I don't know who they're going to go after. The champion is not showing up. He's on vacation again. And he's not rumored to show up in WWE in the remainder of the year.
Yeah.
So who are they going to go after when the leader's not even there?
We got to wait, bro. You got to wait for the payoff, my guy. No, honestly, Roman Reigns probably will not be showing up until Royal Rumble, I want to say.
Oh, but yeah, let me ask you this too. Speaking with the bloodline, Drew McIntyre is not a fan of Jey Uso as well, too. Why is that?
Because the bloodline cost Drew McIntyre his title opportunity against Roman Reigns. Remember, he was about to get the 3 count, then they pulled, I think it was the ref out of the ring.
Yeah, but that's like, this is where one of our fans actually told me to let you know on the pod. But Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso were not there. That was Solo Sikoa.
Yes, it was Solo Sikoa that was under the hood. Yes, it was.
It's like trying to attack somebody that was not even there. Not even in the same country.
But he is with the bloodline, and he's the one that's on Raw.
So, okay, so if you cost me something, right? Say you're teammates with some team, with the soccer team, right? And you kick me to, for some reason, get me injured, right? You personally kick me and then I'm injured. Why am I going to go after another teammate that wasn't the one that kicked me?
Because they're all family, bro.
This shit does not make fucking sense. Do the writers not even know what to write anymore? Do they not go back and be like, who did this to Drew McIntyre? Why is he pissed off? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, they could have made something up. I mean, they have a writing staff. They have a creating staff. They have a head writer who oversees everything. They have a head of creative who oversees everything. And they can't even put things together? Dang.
Anyways, well, back to where I was going with this with Jey Uso is that Seth Rollins is out there talking with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is like, I'm sorry for being a dick. I just hate Jey Uso and blah, 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 blah. And then Seth Rollins says, well, the person I'm actually giving a title shot to is Jey Uso. And then Drew McIntyre goes ape shit and attacks him. So Seth Rollins will be defending the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw against Jey Uso. And I think we're going to get Drew McIntyre to interfere in that match.
I mean, if he did partner it up with the Judgment Day, I mean, nothing is set in stone. I don't think he's actually in the faction yet, but most likely, yes. But let me ask you this question, Brian. Where's the 2 to 3 month, where's the 3 to 6 month long story that led up to this match? Because I've been watching Raw for the past 3 to 6 months
Seth
and I have not seen...
Well, he's a fighting champion, my guy. He's a fighting champion, wants to defend the title against this fair opponent who is Jey Uso. It's okay in AEW, so it's all right in AEW according to you, so...
But you say it's not okay in AEW. Oh, they have to have a storyline in order for me to be invested in this.
I mean, I'm not invested in
it's
that.
Just for nothing.
I'm not invested in that match. Who said I was invested? I'm just explaining why it's happening.
I just wanted you to say that. But what the fuck was Drew McIntyre wearing? Did you see? He looked like a bad bitch in the ring.
He looked like a bad bitch. You're all funny. No, but yeah, he looked weird. Oh my god. So, and then we get the promo from CM Punk. And I don't know what people expected his first promo to be. Do they expect him to go out there and just call Tony Khan a piece of shit and he hates AEW? Because I feel like anything short of that and people are going to be disappointed. Because his promo wasn't bad. He called WWE home. He's glad to be back home. It was a fair promo. It's just he didn't bring up AEW. And I feel like that's why people are complaining.
No, I actually thought the same thing. But I made a post and some of our fans reminded me that, there's the NDA still in the play. And I was like, okay, cool. I get that. All right. So I wasn't really expecting that anymore. But I was expecting more of a CM Punk promo. You know what I mean? Anti-authority, anti-corporate, the voice of the voiceless, the CM Punk we all fell in love with. And like you've said on this pod numerous times, this guy's just a former shell of himself. He could have said like, I'm back. I'm here to work with, kind of like how he did in AEW. I'm here to work with the younger talent in the back.
He said, I'm here for the money, bro. What is wrong with that?
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I mean, when you're not even your former self? I mean, why do fans love CM Punk? Let me ask you, why do fans love CM Punk?
Why do fans love CM Punk? That's a great question. People say he puts on good matches and he gives good promos.
And what in those promos, what does he mainly stood out that nobody else did?
Honestly, the only promos I can think of are the pipe bomb promos. But you can't do that because people expected him to cut a promo on AEW, but there's still the NDA.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it doesn't have to be AEW. The way he ended that promo was like, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money. He could have just gone straight to that. I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money. I'm here to be the best in the world, like he said. I'm here to put a lot of people on notice. I don't care whether they like me or they love me. I don't care. I'm here at home. This is where the fans are. This is where, this is where people come to turn into legends.
This is where the big boys play, huh?
This is where the big boys play. Stuff like that.
Pay attention to the adjective.
Yeah,
ain't here to play.
Yeah, something like that. You don't really have to talk about AEW, but at least give me a punkish promo. Don't give me this. I forgot what he said, because that promo was just ass.
Damn.
But, I mean, at least give me something that resembles Punk.
It was Punk, bro. It just, he's worried.
He's a former shell of himself, bruv. Say it. You say numerous times on the other side.
Bro.
I want you to say
He's scared he's going to say something and then he's going to get sued, bro.
So now he's scared? So Tony Khan got this man really scared?
He's scared for his life, bro. Jungle Boy fucked this guy up mentally. He can't even talk now.
Damn, Jungle Boy fucked this guy up mentally and physically that he's even scared to speak his mind? I mean, that could be true. I mean, Jungle Boy did make him lose his cool.
You know, I wish he would have gone out there and be like something like this is where the big boys play or some shit like that. But I mean, honestly, either way, just him showing up at Survivor Series was a big fuck you to AEW. RIP AEW. November, what day was that? November 25th, 2023 is the day that AEW died. And that's from me. That's from Brian. That's the day it died, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so now tell me, when did CM Punk die? Because that was not CM Punk, bruv.
He died.
Hands down, that was not CM Punk.
He was dead before he signed with AEW, bro.
Yeah,
Because
that
CM Punk was not the same CM Punk either, bro. That fool was still the bad guy from that show Heels. Same fucking haircut and everything, bro.
Yeah, no, that was, yes. This CM Punk, I'll give it another try, because, like I said, to me, first impressions matter, especially when it comes to wrestling. Like the Creed brothers, they were great. They won the tag team match. I still don't like their finisher. That girl from the Creed brothers, showing promising work, great work, and, I'm a fan of her, Ivar. Before, with him and his other tag team partner, the Viking Raiders, was not a fan of them. They were jobbers. But as I'm seeing Ivar more and more, he's losing matches, don't get me wrong. He's performing to the level that it's expected of him. And I'm a fan of him. Whether he's losing or not, I'm still a fan of him. Yes, he's still a jobber, but hey, he's fucking putting on a show in the squared circle, and that's what I like. If you don't have a mouthpiece, do your talking in the squared circle, and bam, you'll gain your fan base.
All right, was there anything else on Monday Night Raw you want to talk about before we moved on to episode 1 of After the Death of AEW Dynamite?
Nah, man, I'm just glad there's another. This is why I said at the beginning, I'm glad there's more wrestling around, because when there's shit like this being served on the other side, I'm glad I have my other options, whether it's mid or not. Hey, at least I'm still having more options. With the NWA Power and TNA coming up, I got options, bro. I don't just have one anymore, which is great.
Well, before we start this episode of Dynamite Review, I want to talk about our good old friend QT Marshall, who quit AEW, and it is said that he did not like this new wave of AEW booking, which is very heavily sports-based and not storyline-based. And boy, this show had all sports-based entertainment, and me as a fan, I did not like this. Adrian, I know you probably liked it because you like matches just for matches, and that's okay. That's not my cup of tea. So the show starts off with Jon Moxley versus Jay Lethal. Jon Moxley comes out there with a Death Jitsu garbage sweater. What does that mean, Adrian?
To be honest, I don't know. I'm like,
yeah.
This sweatshirt is saying that
his own fucking faction is rust. Because
is trash.
I think so. I mean, I googled what Death Jitsu was, and it's his own group's slogan.
Yeah.
And called himself trash. And I was like, was this a CM Punk reference? I never understood. If someone knows, let us know in the comments what that sweater meant.
Yeah, it was just poor place of words, I should say. I don't know what the fuck that was.
But then we get him Russell against Jay Lethal. And if you've seen Jay Lethal in AEW, then you know he's going to take an L. And he took an L. This match was like 18 minutes long. And if you like these types of matches, then go ahead. Not my cup of tea. Adrian, what do you want to say about this?
I'm a Lethal fan. I'm a Moxley fan. But this match was mid, in my opinion. It went longer than it should, in my opinion. Yes, Jay Lethal has done a lot in Impact, TNA, Ring of Honor, Indies. So has Moxley. But, I mean, Moxley's the main event star. Jay Lethal is mid-card or below mid-card guy. It went longer than it should. I would have liked it if it was like 10 minutes long and both wrestlers just got their spots in. It would have been a lot better. But I don't know why it was 18 minutes. I didn't like the length of the match, and like I said, the match was mid in my opinion.
Yeah, it was pretty mid. He's struggling to beat this guy who lost at the pay-per-view. Jay Lethal lost against, was it Orange Cassidy?
I don't remember,
who the fuck did he lose to? Eddie Kingston. He lost to Eddie Kingston. That's who it was. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Jay Lethal is just a jobber in AEW, dude. And I like Black Machismo, dude. That fool's dope. So, this is the other thing I didn't understand. Why the fuck is Bryan Danielson a commentator on this tournament, if he's in the tournament?
I don't know about the tournament, but I guess he was just special guest for tonight. I don't know why. I'm assuming just to give him some TV time, at least, especially since, what's his name, JR is taking some time away. And apparently the rumors of Danielson being the head of the, what was it, the wrestling committee that potentially fired Punk, maybe? I don't know.
Weird. But you know, it's weird because Taz was there, Excalibur was there, Tony Schiavone was there. I don't understand why they had to include Daniel Bryan. But either way, moving on. We get Sting with the promo with a heavily altered Ric Flair, who made this entire speech, this promo about himself, I think. What do you think, Adrian?
Yeah, right away, you can immediately tell Ric Flair was intoxicated as fuck, which is something I said on our Full Gear review. I was like, the AEW had that match first, or Stink's match first, because Ric Flair likes to party a little bit, and turns out that he partied a little early today, and yeah, pretty much has made the promo about himself after revealing the location of Stink's last match, which is going to be North Carolina, Wingsboro Coliseum. The reason why they chose this location was because in 1998, Sting and Ric Flair had a 45-minute commercial-free match, and it's one of Sting and Ric Flair's favorite match of all time. So it works fine. It's good.
I mean, yeah, I got no dealings with where this match takes place, but it will be taking place over there. Then we get Mark Briscoe versus Rush in the next Gold League match. I am not a fan of Mark Briscoe. I don't see the big hoopla about him, and Rush has been underwhelming in AEW to me. And this match was a snooze fest. Adrian, I'm very heavily biased on Mark Briscoe. I know his brother passed away, but that doesn't change the fact that I don't like him. His wrestling style, very much like I don't like Eddie Kingston's wrestling style. And then versus Rush, who's somebody that he's... Andrade and Dragon Lee are much better than him. Like, I don't know what his... Like, why is Rush... This isn't the same Rush we saw in Mexico, for sure.
I mean, it is. Style-wise, it is.
Is the presentation? Something's just completely off and different about it, and I don't like it.
Just you. It's just you.
It's just me?
It's just you. Just say it. Yeah, just say it.
Just because it's AEW? Dang
yeah, just say it. Just say it, bro. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, I don't know. It's not my cup of tea, and this match, it was a snooze fest. Adrian, let's talk some positive stuff about it.
Yeah, if it's not your cup of tea, I mean, we're called Trigger Wrestling for a reason. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you're supposed to like this match. You're Mexican, bro. You're fucking blah 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 blah. I mean, I talk trash about the Loser World Order.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just want to talk something good about it, but there's nothing good about it to me. It was like I would have rather seen something else. They should have put more interesting wrestlers in this fucking tournament. At least wrestlers that we've seen in a while. At least wrestlers we've seen win recently. The fuck, when was the last time Mark Briscoe was on TV? When was the last time Rush won a match on TV before this tournament?
Rush, I don't remember, to be honest. I know Mark Briscoe was injured for a while.
And then he came back and he won a match, yeah. But, I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to sprinkle some not jobbers, but some people that are gonna take some L's in a tournament, you know?
Yeah, and apparently they can't use Miro, they can't use Hobbs, they can't use fucking Ricky Starks, they can't use Dax Harwood, at least someone we've seen on TV recently.
I mean, I was going to say Miro too, but we already know how Miro is when it comes to losing matches, especially with Tony Khan presenting with, oh, this is going to lead to a match at this pay-per-view and you're going to lose. And Miro was like, no, I'm not going to deal that. I'm not going to build a storyline just for me to lose. And you have people out here who have egos too, so you got to take that into consideration. And that's something from their old WWE, from their old employer, where they're like, I wasn't treated fairly there, so I'm supposed to be treated fairly here. But then when, the promoter provides you with the script and, hey, you're going to take some W's, but at the pay-per-view, you're going to take the L. And those individuals are like, no, I'm not taking no L. Fuck that, blah, blah, blah. So who's to blame here? Is it the booker who doesn't have the balls enough to be the boss for his talent? Or for these ex-WWE wrestlers who think they're entitled to stuff just because they were in the WWE, you know?
I mean, I'm assuming they both have to be at fault. I mean, somebody's got to be in charge to make this show.
Yeah.
It's like WCW all over again, you know?
Yep.
If you remember WCW Thunder, no one wanted to be on that show. It was filled with fucking Booker T was there because nobody else wanted to be on that show, and he was the only one that didn't have creative in his contract, so they forced him to go. Everybody else, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, Sting, you never saw those people on Thunder.
Yeah, you're right. That's all WCW with Eric Bischoff. He took all of his chips and put them on Nitro, and even that show was trash after
but I'm saying even at that fault, it's the company's fault for giving the wrestlers the chance to say yes or no. There's nobody saying yes or no in WWE. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you don't want to do this? All right, don't do it. Don't come ever. You know what I mean? Remember what happened with Mustafa Ali? Yeah. They fucking buried him. Then he finally wanted to come back. They let him come back, and he fucking lost, and they buried the fuck out of him. So they buried him so badly that AEW's copying the storyline of Retribution.
Yeah, somebody has to take charge, and as we all know, TK is not the boss people expect him to be. But yeah, he's gonna have to grow a pair and tell these people, hey, you know how you was treated over there. You want to get treated the same way? If not, take your shit and go home. Go to the other side. Where CM Punk said, go to the other side where you think is much greener. Go main event to buy 141 extravaganza and see how the grass is greener on that side. You know, CM Punk went and took his ball and went to WWE. A lot of people can do the same.
Assuming they want you back. That's the thing. Assuming they want you back, you'll have that opportunity.
True.
But MJF comes out here. He calls Samoa Joe the Samoan submission machine. He references TNA. And then he references WWE again. And I'm not a fan of him, of AEW, just constantly referencing WWE. What are your thoughts on this, Adrian?
I personally don't mind it because, as we all know, fans, it's 2023. Come on, guys. We know there is other wrestling promotions. We know where talent was before. Even if you don't know, a simple Google search can help you out. I know that's not the WWE. Oh, this company's supposed to tell me who these wrestlers are. They're supposed to spoon feed me information, which some people think they can, but other people's like, bro, just Google search it. It's not that fucking hard. But yeah, I mean, he put TNA over. He put Ring of Honor. I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, we all know there's other wrestling promotions. I mean, unless you live under a rock, unless you live in, I want kayfabe.
Well, let me ask you this:
so
was Samoa Joe treated badly in WWE, or was he just never available because he was injured all the time?
One or two, but I would say probably both. I never, in NXT, he did his thing. WWE main roster, Samoa Joe never reached his true potential.
Because he would get injured. I mean, how do you expect to be somebody to be the top when you'd put him in and he'd get a concussion? He choked out Rey Mysterio, a legend that you complained about, in like 10 seconds on WrestleMania. And then the next day he got injured and he was gone with a concussion. Like, whose fault is that? That's not WWE's fault. That's sadly not his fault either. I mean, shit happens. But that's the part where I'm like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that he wasn't not treated badly. He was injured all the time, just like Daniel Bryan. He got so many concussions at one point, they're like, we don't feel safe letting you in the ring. Same thing happened with Samoa Joe.
See, and that's where my whole Io Sky thing comes into play. You're really gonna have a world champion do a spot like that? You yourself just said it right now. I'm not gonna put my time and effort and a world title on you if you're gonna get injured all the time, right?
Okay, but has Io Sky been injured though?
She could have gotten injured in that spot.
Yes, but anybody could have gotten injured anytime.
Yeah, that's true. Anything can happen.
That's the thing with that's the wrestling business. Samoa Joe almost killed T.J. Wilson, Tyson Kidd.
Well, oh yeah. I don't remember that spot, but yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
this.
This guy ended his wrestling career when he was at the top of his wrestling game with a tag team title reign with Cesaro back in the Dizzy. And yeah, or the Muscle Buster was never used after that fact. But wrestling injuries can happen anytime. If Io Sky has a history of getting injured, that's completely different of her getting injured this one time. Samoa Joe was constantly injured for a vast amount of time.
Yeah, and even when he was back, he was never really like, not even in a mid-card position. He was just there. I don't even remember a feud from him, even when he was healthy. He had a good match with Brock Lesnar, and I think that's the only time I remember him. That's because it was Brock Lesnar. Other than that, his reign in WWE main roster was non-existent.
Once again, because he was injured. But that's the thing that I'm saying is that the stuff that MJF is saying, yeah, a quick Google search, anybody with the brain knows he was injured all the time. Like, that's why he was an announcer at WrestleMania when it was raining, because he was always getting injured.
Yeah, so technically, MJF was speaking fast, but not being used correctly in WWE.
I mean, I guess so. If you want to say it like that, yes.
Yeah.
Jesus. And then, anyways, so back to this. Then Retribution shows up, allegedly, and starts beating the fuck out of MJF. And Samoa Joe comes out, makes the save, and I'm going to say it's Mustafa Ali doing his hacker gimmick again. Takes control of AEW's production team and issues a challenge to next week that he's going to face two of the masked men for the Ring of Honor tag team titles, with Samoa Joe being his partner, right, Adrian?
Yes. After Dynamite went off the air, I'm sorry for going fast forward, Britt Baker just tweeted, Dynamite, this episode of Dynamite, MJ's promo 7 minutes long, Christian Cage's promo 10 minutes long. In 2023, Britt Baker has had 0 time in promos. I know we said Adam Cole could potentially be the devil. The devil did not show up on the screen, but it was somebody typing, issuing the challenge. Could this be another tease that it could be Adam Cole? I mean, why else would Britt Baker tweet on the same day that the devil did not show up, you know?
I just think there's no creative for her. Much like there's no creative for Thunder Rosa. I don't know what's going on with the women's division in AEW. They only get one match per show. It's either a multi-woman match or a woman versus a jobber.
Yeah.
Speaking of jobber, Wardlow beats AR Fox.
Yep.
How many weeks in a row was this?
For Wardlow winning?
Just Wardlow versus jobbers versus nobodies.
I think for the past 2 weeks he hasn't had a match, but before that I would say probably 2 weeks in a row, and then this one 3.
He needs something else, dude. He just can't be beating jobbers all the time.
Yeah.
Next, we get Action Andretti in Top Flight, and one of the Martins, Dante Martin, makes his return. They beat Brother Zay and the Hardy Boys, and then they get challenged by Ben Tercero Miedo, Commander, and Hijo del Vikingo, and they're going to have the AEW fans' wet dream match next week on Dynamite. Then we get Julia Hart defending the AEW TBS Women's Championship against the jobber, Emi Sakura. Yeah, I mean, this show was just so skippable, at least for like 45 minutes. But let's get to the main event, Adrian, here. Shane, Swerve Strickland versus Switchblade, Jay White. What'd you think of this match?
This match was a banger in my opinion. You have somebody that you have to put your chips on. Swerve Strickland. Yes, Jay White is a former New Japan World Champion, a former leader of the Bullet Club in New Japan, the leader of the Bullet Club Gold in AEW. But right now, he's going through some tough times, and he showed it in his face. Swerve Strickland's on a roll. He's a winning machine at this moment, and he's keeping that momentum going. We both put Actually, I think I put more my money on Swerve Strickland to win. I think you said Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson will have a match against Eddie Kingston later in the week, but Swerve Strickland is looking like the champion AEW needs after Samoa Joe beats MJF. I think they're building up their main card division. They're trying to build it away from the Kenny Omegas, Chris Jericho, who's another main eventer, I forgot. But yeah, they're moving away from them, and they're trying to bring the new guys in, like Joe, Strickland, MJF, possibly Jay White. And I like this match. It was great. It was hard hitting. That spot that Swerve Strickland does when he snaps people's arms. I know they don't get injured. I just can't watch that spot. It just looks too scary to me. It just looks too realistic. I don't like it. I mean, I like it, but it's just I gotta look away.
But I did like this match. To me, these are the kind of matches that we expected to have in this tournament. It's sad that it's only like 2 or 3 actual guys that have a chance per group, and then the other 3 are literally like mid-carders or low mid-carders. I was excited to see Swerve win. He deserves to be AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I hope this is a way for him to win this tournament, even though I still think Daniel Bryan's going to win, because he deserves it. He deserves to get some gold in AEW. Anything else you want to talk about this show, Adrian?
Oh, yeah, but before we move on, let's talk about that Edge and Christian. As we know, Edge has had enough. Had enough of Christian Cage's bullshit, Christian Cage's lackeys, Kill Switch, and Nick Wayne. He concertoed Luchasaurus twice and concertoed Nick Wayne in front of his mom. That man. Yeah, now Christian Cage is all alone, and he cowered like a bitch. He said, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Let's go back to being one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Let's have one last final run like you wanted. And what do you think about that? Well, tell us what happened.
Edge said, go fuck yourself. And then they bleeped everything after that for like 5 seconds. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. And I want to ask you this. I know that's what all happened. But who, and this is coming from Bully Ray's Open Radio, right? I believe he named the Usos one of the greatest tag teams of all time, because not only do they do it as a tag team, they're also doing it as single stars. Mainly more Jey Uso, not really Jimmy. He's just there. He's becoming a goofball. He's becoming R-Truth 2.0, in my opinion. And Bully Ray, in his eyes, he said, oh, they're the greatest tag team of all time because they've done it as a tag team. They've also done it in single stars. I, myself, have told you numerous times that I'm not a fan of Edge and Christian when they were up in WWE. But I'm not going to argue that they were a great tag team. I'm not going to argue that they did win all those championships in WWF. But who really is the best tag team of all time, according to Bully Ray standards?
See, that's the thing. So let me ask you something here, Adrian. It is arguable that Edge and Christian are the best tag team that ever graced the earth, because which other tag team that was an actual tag team, not 2 single stars put together, won world championships at that company and multiple companies elsewhere?
Nobody else besides Edge and Christian.
I mean, Jeff Hardy, but did Matt Hardy ever win the World Heavyweight Gold?
He won the ECW World title.
Not the same. I don't think that's the same.
Yeah, WWE ECW. Yeah, it's not the same.
It's not the same. And then Christian, he was world heavyweight champion. He won the big gold in WWE, I think, right?
Yes, after Edge's retirement.
Okay. Man, see, I could see Edge and Christian being the top, bro. But when I think of a tag team, I think of just strictly tag team. Usos have a lot of tag team gold as a tag team. You know, they never went singles up until now. But then the Dudleys also won a gold everywhere too. I'm going to say that the talk can easily be between the Usos, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. That's what I'm going to say.
What about FTR? They've also won tag team titles
No,
everywhere
no
they've
comparison. No comparison, bro.
Why not? Weren't they
There's
NXT
levels to
champion?
this. So, okay.
Yeah, explain it.
So you're telling me that you're willing to put FTR on the same stage as Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, and the Usos?
If you want to put like the Dudley Boys, where you yourself just said it not 10 seconds ago, they won tag team champions all over. That's you saying it, not me.
Is that me being nostalgic? I don't know. Maybe so, dude. It's just...
Yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm just repeating what Bully Ray said on his tag team champions, and now I'm repeating what you're saying on your tag team champion criteria.
On my own podcast too, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm just repeating what you're saying on your tag team of all time criteria.
The reason I don't consider them the best tag team or one of the best tag teams is that they haven't been a team that long. In WWE, they were not the best. They weren't portrayed to be the best tag team like the other three were. In AEW, they're not even portrayed to be the best tag team. They're mid-carders at best. In WWE, Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, and the Usos were always at the top of the tag team division. They were never mid-carders of the tag team division. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I know exactly what you're saying, because although they did win both SmackDown and Raw tag team champions, they were never seen like they were actually like a threat. You know what I mean? Because we've seen WWE give the tag team championships to numerous people, and then when you look back, you're like, why were they even champions in the first place? You know?
Yeah, I could see that.
For example, Rhino and
Heath Slater. Fuck.
Although the run was great, the gimmick I Got Kids was great, were they really tag team champion material when you had other great tag teams on the roster?
No. What about Braun Strowman and Nicholas?
Fucking got this.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
and
like,
didn't they beat FTR?
I think so, yeah. But then that could also be what Dax Harwood said about Vince McMahon. He did not like me because I'm a 5'10" North Carolinian, and he didn't like me. He didn't like my style. He didn't like what I had to say. He just didn't like me personally. And yeah, but in the AEW, they're free to do what they want. They want Ring of Honor titles, AAA titles, New Japan titles, AEW tag team titles.
And where did that get them all right now?
They're
all in the fucking mid-carders.
Yeah, after what? For example, Drew McIntyre, world champion. Where is he at now?
But he's not saying he's the best ever to ever do it. FTR calls themselves top guys, but they're the top of the mid-card guys.
Now they are, but when they were champions, were you arguing that? Just because Mr. Vinnie Mac was not giving them the spotlight?
I'm not a fan of FTR. I've said this many times that...
No, you're right. But see, that's the difference between me and you. I'm never going to argue facts and title reigns. I don't know if that's what you're doing now, but you're right. You've never been a fan of their style. You've never been a fan of... And this could also be a WWE thing, something that I've said numerous times. If WWE doesn't care about their talent, why should I care? And I think that's why you don't like FTR. Because they never really invested in them. And if they didn't care about FTR, why should you care, right?
I didn't care about them WWE or AEW or AAA, bro. To me, they're just not that good.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, for me, I could put FTR on my Mount Rushmore or my top 3.
You would put FTR in your top 3 tag teams?
I mean, I'm not going to argue facts, bruv.
So, all right.
Or Mount Rushmore, you know? They did have a great, we finally saw their full true potential in AEW. And I'm like, oh, if this is what these guys could have done in WWE, why weren't they just doing that? I mean, when they aligned themselves with Randy Orton for a brief period of time in WWE, a lot of fans were liking that. But again, Vince McMahon had to come in and ruin that.
We're way off topic of Edge and Christian's promo now.
I know, but yes, regardless, I still think Edge and Christian, like I said, I wasn't a fan of them in WWE because I was more of a Hardy's fan. But when it comes down to careers, you cannot argue.
No, you can't. Jesus, that was, I don't know. Either way, FTR fucking sucks. Edge and Christian's the GOATs. And yeah. Anything else you want to say, Adrian?
I mean, since we're on the topic of tag team championships, please let us know on the comment section. Drop a like, comment, subscribe to our social media platforms, Twitter, X, we're Trig_Wrestling, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, we're Triggered Wrestling. Like, comment, subscribe. We have some great news coming up. We do have a sponsor brewing right now, so we'll let you guys know in the future who it is. But most importantly, guys, stay triggered.
Bang, bang.